Like this Red Sox hat? This thing's fucking cool, man. Look at the designs on this. This is the coolest Red Sox hat I've ever seen. I don't watch a lot of baseball, but this Red Sox hat, like they try to make a lot of badass Red Sox hats these days because they're one of the most popular teams in the country. But this hat, this thing has got. I don't know if you can see it. I should shut the shade, but it's fucking amazing, dude. Anyway, enough of that meathead bullshit. Okay, time for my last of the candidates, Ron Paul. I just want to discuss him. Hold on, Shadows Fall. This band's actually pretty fucking good. You ever hear him, Shadows Fall? They're a pretty good band. This is an old song. Okay, I'll turn it down. You probably can't hear me. Okay, so Ron Paul, he's the last one we're going to discuss. I shit on Mitt Romney. I shit on Rick Santorum. I guess that's easy to do. Anyone can fucking shit on those guys. Anyway, Ron Paul is probably, and I'm not trying to jump on the Ron Paul bandwagon, but it's probably a fucking pretty intelligent wagon, if you want to know the truth. At least it's got 4 fucking wheels on it, okay? It's going somewhere. All right? I would say he's probably the most intelligent, makes sense politician that I've ever heard in all my years. I'm 37 years old, so I can kind of remember like listening to Reagan and even thinking he was full of shit when I was little. But and I can remember listening to a lot of other ones. I was always a Bill Clinton fan and whatnot. But Ron Paul is a guy that just, when he speaks, you go, yeah, pure rationality, pure fucking logic. And everything he says is just, it's so logical and so rational that you realize that American politics has been bullshit for 200 plus years, that you actually say to yourself, this guy probably has no chance because he's too rational and logical. And, as government has grown and moved away from the Constitution, this is the things that Ron Paul actually addresses is, in a way, a lot of people think he's a forward thinker. Like, wow, but those ideas that he has and some of the logic and rationality that he makes actually dates back to the times of the Founding Fathers, Let me just turn my hat back so I always block some of this fucking sun. Sorry about that. That's no better, is it? I'm glowing. I'm coming out of heaven. Sorry. All right. But anyway, it's like those ideals actually go back to the original ideals of the Constitution. A lot of his ideas are forward thinking, in theory, because people aren't used to hearing that shit. They're used to hearing bullshit, and that's what we've been used to. A lot of bullshit, more and more bullshit as government has become corporatized, because a lot of people think we don't even live in a democracy anymore, that it has actually evolved into a corporatocracy is what it's called, where corporations and lobbyists actually have so much clout and so much influence in the government that we've become a corporatocracy. It's no longer a democracy. It's no longer about constitution and smaller government and people having more freedom. It's about corporations putting their interests into the government for big business. And they're the real owners, as George Carlin would say, the real owners of the country. And we've seen this happen. We know this has some legitimacy to it because, of what happened, the crash of 2008, the AIG, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all this stuff that has happened, we've witnessed, people are, the Occupy movements, people are onto it now, that it has become a corporatocracy. So Ron Paul really is just trying to get back to basics. It's not really even that much of forward thinking, but it's logical thinking. You know what I mean? Like, gay people are, part of, they should be allowed to get married. They're American citizens. It's like saying women can't vote, and marijuana should be legal. If alcohol's legal, why should marijuana be illegal? That doesn't even add up. People should be allowed to, do what they want to their own body, without government interference. As I said in one of my last Rick Santorum rants, that basically the president's job and government's job is to just protect the people from enemies, both foreign and domestic, and to, ensure that you're securely protected in your rights of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, whatever, the right to bear arms, the right to, shut your fucking mouth in court, the Fifth Amendment. All those kind of things. That's what the government really should be there for, not moral stuff and all that kind of stuff that we I touched on in the Rick Santorum thing. So a lot of the things, it's not even really like forward thinking. It's not even like new agey shit. I mean, Ron Paul just wants to get back to the basics of the Constitution. He's almost like a constitutional candidate, saying, let's get back to what government is really about. Not lobbyists, not corporatocracy, not fucking drug wars and telling you what you can and can't do in your personal lives and, Patriot Acts and spying on you and all that kind of shit. Let's just get back to protecting the people, protecting them financially, physically, enemies, threats of, and protecting their rights to, constitutional rights. Of course, police and fire, police protection, fire protection, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know too much about the healthcare part, what he's into on that, but, allowing, corporations to govern themselves, but not being in bed with the government, that shouldn't be the way it is. Lobbyists going and, kickbacks and all that inside Washington shit. We don't need to get into it. But I really think that Ron Paul makes the most sense. But that scares a lot of people because a lot of people want to, it's lucrative the way things are for them. When you reach into someone else's pocket, you may have great ideals, but if you're in their pocket, they don't want to hear those great ideals or that logic or any of that stuff. And that's what it really boils down to, and that's what's sad. That's what's become sad about America. It's just about green paper dreams, money, and who's cashing in, and not about idealism, moving forward as a species, being one, being unified, any of that stuff. And it's kind of sad. But Ron Paul, a lot of his ideals bring us back to that, original, some of the founding fathers' principles that have gotten muddled and lost in the shuffle of life. And that's why we've become a corporatocracy, and he wants to take that back. So take that away, excuse me. So Ron Paul's the guy to vote for. He's a guy, I got no shit to talk about him. Only thing I think that detracts from him, unfortunately, not to stereotype, got something on the screen, but would be his age, because people might worry. I mean, it looks like he's in pretty good health, but he is 76 or 77. That's pretty old. And I know that was an issue with McCain. People said that hurt him because he was 72 in 08 when he was running. That's why it probably pulled Sarah Palin, because she's young and kind of a piece of ass, but about as smart as this fucking cup right here. But anyway, okay, I've said my piece on Ron Paul. I think he should be the one that should be president, and that's it. That's all I have to say. I've said my reasons why. The other guys are shitheads. It's politics as usual with them, and with Ron, it's not. It's almost like going back, grabbing the good stuff, and then moving forward. So that's it. Ron Paul. He's a choice. Take care, motherfuckers.